I will try to project today. Good afternoon and welcome to the June 21st, 2022 meeting of the Board of Parks and Recreation for the Consolidated City of Indianapolis. Thank you so much for being here this afternoon. We'll do some quick introductions starting from my left, and we'll start with Mr. Colvin.
Don Colvin, Deputy Director, Board Advisor.
Larry Bates, Board Member.
Phyllis Boyd, Parks Director and Board Chair.
Joe Wens, Board Member.
Caitlin Campbell, Council for Parks.
Charlie Elliott, Eagle Creek Park Manager.
All right, and I just want to kick off this meeting with just a few directors' announcements. We have lots and lots going on this summer all over the park system, 213 parks and 11,000 acres, so there's quite a lot of activity. First of all, most of you know already that our pools this summer are free for all Marion County residents. The pools that are open are Broad Ripple Park, Frederick Douglass, Garfield, Perry, Riverside, Thatcher, and Willard. The pool sessions are 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. and 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. You just have to sign up for a free membership card, either call ahead or you can do it when you get to the pool center. It's very easy. If the parks are at capacity when you get there, or if you're coming on a day when the pools are not open, the pools are open from Wednesday through Sunday. You can also visit one of the 17 splash pads that we have in the park system. And if you need to see the list, you can go online and find it. But they're open primarily from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and they're a great way to just go cool off if you can't get into a pool. We also have, in cooperation with Office of Public Health and Safety, a Safe Summer program in 3 of our parks, Riverside, Washington, and Garfield. This is Friday evenings from 7 to 10 p.m. at Garfield and Riverside and 8 to 11 p.m. at Washington. There's free food, free music, and basketball and other games. And this is just some of the shots from the activities that folks are engaging in. They're having a lot of fun. On Saturdays, we're also having, as an extension of the Safe Summer, sports of all sorts. This is Saturdays at Riverside Park. A lot of youth are familiar with football, basketball, baseball, but they don't know about lacrosse or archery or some aquatics. And so this is an opportunity for youth to get introduced to some alternative sports and just try them out. So Saturday evenings from 6 to 8, come to Riverside Family Center, and then you'll see the signs to sign up for this. It's free to youth ages 9 to 17. And in addition, we have tons of movies and concerts all summer. You can check out the schedules online at Garfield, the McAllister Amphitheater, Eagle Creek, Martin Luther King Jr. Park, Broad Ripple Park, and the lovely Taggart. And summer meal services continuing at multiple park centers. Meals for youth 18 and under are available, and there are also meals for adults through our mobile service. All right, we'll get on to business. So first up, let's approve the minutes for the May Parks Board meeting. Board members have received the minutes over email to review. And I will call for a motion to approve the May 17, 2022 minutes of the Board of Parks and Recreation.
So moved. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The minutes have passed. Moving on to new business.
Agenda item number 13. It is the recommendation of the Resource Development and Finance Departments that the Board of Parks and Recreation approve the lease of the property at 975 Birdsall Parkway, formerly Fire Station 23, with Groundwork Indy. This is a 20-year lease. Presented by Lisa Lemming and Julie Jacob.
Yeah, did you want to say something?
I think we need to skip this one for now, because aren't you recusing yourself?
Yeah, I think I need to recuse myself from this one. And we are expecting one more board member to appear. So we'll need her to fill a quorum for us for this vote. So we will hold on to this item until later in the meeting.
Just as a question, is it possible that two board members could pass it, and based on the board secretary contacting the other board members for approval, or they have to be physically present?
It has to be physically present here at the meeting.
Okay.
Agenda item number 19. The Resource Development Division of Staff recommends the Board of Parks and Recreation approve and authorize the Director to award RFB 17 DPR 232 PA 21024C Frederick Douglass Park Family Center to Myers Construction in the total lump sum of $20 million. $20,990,000 on the basis that they are the lowest responsive and responsible bidder.
Thank you, Charlie. Yeah. Good afternoon, members of the board. I have my Administrator of Construction Management here, Corey Cranit, to help with the discussion today. This is the project description of this consists of a new family center building at Frederick Douglass Park. The project includes for ground-up construction of a new 48,000 square foot facility with a large gymnasium, exercise track, performance stage, warm-in kitchen, various activities and multi-purpose rooms, along with the demolition of the existing building to create a new large parking lot. And substantial completion is scheduled for September 30th, 2023, with final completion scheduled for October 28, 2023. On June 2nd, 2022, 2 bids were received. The lowest bidders were Meyer Construction in the lump sum of $20,990,000, including alternates number 4 and 5. Their XBE documentation indicates they made a good faith effort to meet the owner's goals with 3.4% MBE, 6.9% WBE, 0% VBE, and 2.8% DOBE, subcontractors and supplier participation. The Office of Minority and Women in Business Development reviewed Myers Construction submittals and found that they have put forth a good faith effort. We do have the contractor in the room with us today if the board does have members. In addition to this, we do have commitments as far as a zoning commitment of extending the sidewalks up from 25th Street up to 27th Street on the east side of the property. And we also have commitments both from the contractor and ourselves to continue to work to increase the MBE, XBE participation on the project. And we are currently, Director can speak to the MOU that we are currently reviewing and moving forward on. Corey, any questions or comments?
I don't have anything to add.
What did we approve the last, didn't we hear this proposal before?
Not for Frederick Douglass.
Not for Frederick Douglass?
I think Andre presented on the design.
That was
a few
just the
board meetings
design?
ago.
Yes.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
So this is the actual construction project.
Are there any other questions or comments from the board?
Nope.
Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda item number 19.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it and the motion carries. Thank you. Next agenda item.
Agenda item number 20, 2022. The Resource Development Division staff recommends that the Board of Parks and Recreation approve and authorize the Director to award PA 22004B Cranert Park Family Center renovation to MatCon in the total lump sum amount of $9,550,000 on the basis that they are the lowest responsive and responsible bidder.
Thank you, Charlie. This project consists of renovating and expanding the existing family center building at Cranert Park. The project includes enclosing the existing outdoor pool, upgrading the existing pool mechanical equipment and splash pad, renovating the existing building to upgrade interiors, HVAC, and roofing, with substantial completion scheduled for July 31st, 2023, and final completion scheduled for August 31st, 2023. On June 2nd, 2022, 2 bids were received. The lowest bidder was MatCon in the lump sum amount of $9,550,000. The XBE documentation indicates they made a good faith effort to meet the owner's goals of 2% MBE, 0% WBE, 0% VBE, and 0.2% DOBE. Some subcontractors and supplier participation. The Office of Minority and Women Business Development reviewed MatCon's submittal and found that they had put forth a good faith effort. I'd be happy to try to answer any additional questions on the project.
This design was presented to us also, right?
Yes, every
Yeah.
design
Yeah.
comes before
Yeah.
the board. Then hopefully 6 months later, we can bring a construction project to you.
Have any questions?
Are there any additional questions? Sorry, Kirsten is needing directions. So. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda item number 20.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Nay? Nay? Okay, the ayes
Nay.
have it and the motion carries. Thank you. The next agenda item, number 21.
Agenda item number 21. The Resource Development Division is recommending that the Board of Parks and Recreation approve a new professional services agreement for design with HWC in the lump sum total agreement of $100,200 with reimbursable expenses not to exceed $2,500 with an agreement expiration date of 45 days after project final completion, which is expected to be on August 2023.
This is a HWC is the design firm that's already designing the splash pad, the comfort station, the realignment of the parking lot, and the circular drive. This is also being funded through the American Relief Program, so we thought it was appropriate to continue working with HWC to continue with the playground design. And that's what this proposal is before you.
Okay. Do you have any questions, board members? Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda item number 21.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? The ayes have it and the motion carries. Okay. Next agenda item, number 22.
Agenda item number 22. The Resource Development Division is recommending that the Board of Parks and Recreation approve an amendment to the professional services agreement for Riverside Adventure Park with HCO Inc. in the not-to-exceed amount of $213,600.
This is, again, a continuation of the work in the park that we're currently in, the Riverside Adventure Park. We had split up the work between two different companies, HCO, and you'll see the next one will be V3. They did, the original value amount was for a scoping document and design development. This amendment today will take them from that phase of the design into preparing construction documents so we could put out a public bid in early 2023. I should note that HCO has about 54% of XBE participation in their design contracts, so they've done a really good job with that. And then the image, the next image with the little shelter, the curvy shelter is to reflect the White River motion of the water in that. So that's one of their elements. There's some other components in here that they're also working on. Any questions?
Okay, hearing none, I'll approve motion to approve agenda item number 22.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it and the motion carries. Okay. Next agenda item is 23.
Agenda item number 23. The Resource Development Division is recommending that the Board of Parks and Recreation approve an amendment to the professional services agreement for the Riverside Adventure Park project with V3 Companies Limited in the not-to-exceed amount of $276,100.
As I mentioned with the previous design, the original amount was for scoping and design development. This amendment is to take those plans, which include this northern area right here, just as you were pulling in, is where there'll be another unique shelter component in one of our first natural playgrounds. And they also includes the trail development throughout the park. So this is to prepare a set of construction documents, again, to be bid in early 2023. And they have about 34 to 35% XBE participation in their design contract.
Okay. Any questions or comments? Nope. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda item number 23.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it and the motion carries.
Agenda item number 24. The Resource Development Division is recommending that the Board of Parks and Recreation approve an amendment to the professional services agreement for the development of Grassy Creek construction documents with context design and the not-to-exceed amount of $170,440 and no extension of contract time.
Again, this is the third type contract. We had scoping, design development. This is in preparation of construction documents to bid in early 2023. You can see a couple images here with putting in a brand-new drive, a large parking lot, and the environmental education facility. Next slide. Yep. It's a little hard to see in this image, but it's broken up into the 2 classrooms, 2 community rooms, with the main staff area right down through the middle of the building. There's also a little storage garage like we have at Holiday Park Nature Center for supplies, materials, and equipment. And a couple more images will give you the feel for the design of the building. Kind of low profile, trying to fit it into the natural landscape. Lots of windows to bring in natural light in, and we're trying to, again, use sustainable materials as far as the construction of the building itself. There will be an outdoor restroom component, so guests in the park, if the building is closed, could still have access to a restroom. Are there any questions the board may have?
Okay, hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda item number 24.
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it, and the motion carries.
Agenda item number 25. The City of Indianapolis, through its Department of Parks and Recreation, is interested in purchasing approximately 82 acres of property to expand Grassy Creek Regional Park.
This one's a little unique. We're really not asking the board for a resolution at this time. What we're asking for is permission to go through a series of additional steps with working, one, we had to take it to the Space Allocation Committee. We did receive their approval. We'd like to express our interest in purchasing a series of these properties colored in red, blue, in yellow, and white down at the bottom, and to see if the landowners have an interest in sale. We have completed the appraisals of each one of those properties. And then if there is an interest to purchase, we would then create a purchase agreement. But before we could sign those agreements, I would have to come back before this board and actually have a board resolution to acknowledge the acceptance and the acquisition of the property. Because the properties are valued more than $25,000, we also have to go before the Parks Committee and the full council to get their approval before we could actually close on the real estate. Mainly, this is an expansion of Grassy Creek. The board approved over 75 acres last year, that we had 72 to 75 acres that we added to the park in green, particularly that lower section in green. And then the central park is in the middle, and then where the nature center is in that large northern section. So the red is a heavily wooded area, so we're trying to add a natural woodland to the park. And then the other pieces are more open, so you could move your sports fields and active recreation down into those areas. We don't know if we're going to be able to acquire them at this point, but we need the board's permission to go to the next step.
Donald, is Grassy Creek becoming a regional? How many acres?
It is a regional park. This would bring it's like 200 and some. This would bring it over 300 acres. If I go to my little piece here, my cheat sheet.
300 acres?
It's 251 acres now. If we were able to add these 82 acres, we'd be 333 acres. So yes, it is a regional park. We renamed, reclassified it as a regional park.
And this building would, I guess, house staff and what have you?
Yes, it will have a permanent staff in there. It also has the opportunity for a naturalist to come and go. This would be managed by the same team that manages Windsor Village. And it also has, when we went out and did the community meetings, it was a huge request to have rooms in there for community meetings as well as educational instructional purposes.
Don, can you speak to what these properties, how they will impact the future trail plan?
Yes, excellent point. So You're probably aware of that the Department of Public Works received $25 million to work on numerous greenway trails. We were fortunate enough to have Grassy Creek Greenway Trail recognized as one. And Grassy Creek begins at the very top little point where it kind of sticks up to a little curve. It starts there and meanders all the way down, right along that red line, the left side of the red line, down to the right side of the yellow, right where the 21.04 arrow points, and then it continues on all the way down to Washington Street, and eventually ties into the Pensy Greenway Trail. There's some few challenges along the way. They have to figure out how to get across the interstate or around the interstate. There's a golf course they have to go around, and there's some other land acquisition pieces. So we're trying to buy this for parkland, but there would be the Greenway Trail that would go right down through the middle of this parkland.
Well, you can do what Carmel did, just tunnel underneath it.
Again, that would be a DPW project, but you could. You very well could. That may be an excellent solution.
Yeah,
We'll tell him you said that.
yeah, for Carmel, they had the same situation, and they tunneled. There'd been a tunnel underneath, I think it was like 146th Street or what have you. So tunneling is not out of the question if you know.
It's a very safe way of
doing it.
Very safe way.
Yeah.
And we have one tunnel already on the Pensy. It literally tunnels right under 465.
Yeah.
So there's precedent set for that. But
Yeah.
that is a DPW decision.
Are there any other questions or comments from the board? Thank you. Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda item number 25.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it and the motion carries. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we're going to have a presentation from the Friends of Southeast Way Park. Sorry, I do want to circle back. Now that we have a quorum, sorry. I would like to get back to agenda item number 13.
All right. Agenda item number 13. It is the recommendation of the Resource Development and Finance Departments that the Board of Parks and Recreation approve the lease of property at 975 Birdsall Parkway, formerly Fire Station number 23, with Groundwork Indy. This is a 20-year lease.
And let me just say, I am recusing myself from this vote because of my past history with Groundwork Indy.
All right, thank you. Good afternoon, members of the board. I'm Julie Jacob, Senior Project Manager. So this property involves an abandoned fire station located at 975 Birdsall Parkway. In 1959, there was an interdepartmental transfer of property from Parks to the Fire Department in order to construct Fire Station 23. Then approximately 10 years ago, a new fire station was needed, and it was built in a different location, so this fire station was abandoned. Shortly thereafter, it was vandalized quite heavily, and it was basically uninhabitable. All of the plumbing, wiring, HVAC equipment was pretty much destroyed. So there wasn't a lot we could do with it. Last year, we received the property back from the Public Health and Safety Board, so we own the property again. And in trying to think of how we can reuse the building, we knew it would be impractical as a recreation use because it sits right between Watkins and Riverside centers. So we also knew that the Northwest Quality of Life Plan considered this building as a neighborhood building of significance. So we felt like it should remain and we should try to find a reuse for it. And we felt like it should serve a community purpose, and if it could also serve youth in some way, that would be a plus. So at that point, we created an RFP to seek respondents to see if we could find somebody who could not only use the building, but fix it up so that it could be utilized. Lisa will take over at this point.
Hi, I'm Lisa Lemming, Financial Manager for Indy Parks and Recreation. So we worked with the City of Indianapolis Purchasing Department, and we completed a RFP, request for proposal, to lease the building at 975 Birdsell Parkway, the old fire station. The RFP was published in February, mid-February, and we had a pre-proposal meeting on March the 2nd, which was a big snow day. We had to shovel to get to the door. And then all the proposals were due March 25th. Next slide. Our team was very impressed with the proposal from Groundwork Indy. We met with Groundwork Indy and gave them an opportunity to explain their proposal, their vision, their vision of providing programs to the community. We're here today to seek the Park Board approval to enter into a 20-year lease with Groundwork Indy. The tenant, which is Groundwork Indy, will be responsible to renovate the whole facility to make it safe and usable. Renovations include HVAC unit, electrical, plumbing, and carpentry work, estimated at over $541,000. This investment will be in lieu of rent over the term of the agreement. Groundwork Indy is also responsible for paying all the ongoing maintenance, utilities, alarms, ongoing expenses. As far as the dollar figures, it's equivalent to $8 a square foot, and we're looking at 3,300 square feet for the facility. I would like to introduce you to Elizabeth Wallen. She's the managing director of Groundwork Indy, and I want to give her opportunity to talk a little bit about the mission and vision of the facility.
Hi, my name is Elizabeth Wallen. I'm the managing director over at Groundwork Indy. We're an environmentally justice-based organization. We operate here independently as part of the National Network of Groundwork USA Trusts. And we operate our environmental program through two main programs. We have a green team, which are youth that are 14 to 18. They're still in school. And so we run after-school programming throughout the year, and then about a 6 to 7 week summer program where we have them full-time through the week. We engage them into different projects throughout the community, green spaces, trail maintenance, gardens, planting vegetables and flowers and things like that. And then we also run our Ground Corps program, which are out-of-school youth, 18 to 24, that work full-time Monday through Friday. In more of our labor-intensive work projects that we do, we have partners with parks. We just, last week we were up, did our first contract up at Indiana State National Park, doing some trail revitalization up there. And so engaging these youth into pathways towards green jobs.
Do you have any questions for us? Let me go on to the next steps real quick. If you approve the lease agreement today, the next steps are it has to go before our city county council because it is a lease, and then we would present it on July 14th to the Parks and Recreation Council, and then August the 8th would be the full city county council. Any questions?
No, just a comment about the program. Find the money problem, no issue. Just excited to hear what you're doing. That area needs a lot of environmental work. Obviously Fall Creek runs through there. Riverside Trail. I mean, it's a lot of stuff needs to be done in that area. Environmentalists all the way over to Lake Sullivan, and I think just having a hub there and getting the children interested in environmental and what have you is a blessing, because that area is environmental neglected, and I drive through it all the time, and the only really environmental program you have there is what Marion College do, and they are is connected at college. But just hearing what you were talking about, what you're doing with the children and after school and getting them involved, the trails and what have you, it's a blessing to have you there doing that kind of work with those children.
Thank you.
Are there any other questions or comments? Okay. Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve agenda item number 13.
So move.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? The ayes have it and the motion carries.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now we will have the presentation from the Friends of Southeast Way Park, and I'll ask the presenters, please introduce yourselves.
Thank you for having us. My name is Jeremy Musgrave. I'm the chairperson of the Friends of Southeast Way Park. And I'm here to just tell you a little bit about what we do and what Southeast Way Park is.
Miss Angela?
Hi, everybody. My name is Angela McClendon. I am the East Regional Manager for the Parks Department, and I am here representing my staff because they are diligent in getting some camp programs running today. So I don't know if you're familiar with Chris Martini, but he's pretty amazing, and so are the ladies that work with him. So he wasn't able to be here, so I'm sitting here in his stead.
Angela, what's your mother's and father's name?
My mother's name is Daphne. Her maiden name is Lewis, and then my father is Arthur McClendon.
High school with him.
Is that right? Such a small world it is. I'll have to tell him. I'll be sure. So I think I'm up first, actually, and I'll give you guys a little bit of background about Southeast Way, and then I'll turn it over to Jeremy, and he'll talk about the Friends group. So if you're not familiar, Southeast Way is about 188 acres of land. It is the third largest in the system. It was added to the Indy Parks system in 1970, and it is located in Franklin Township. It is a regional nature and environmental park. And in 2017, we saw about 280,000 people, and the revenue was about $100,000. I do believe this may be an old presentation because in 2021, we saw 300,000 people, and our revenue was about $93,000. So, next slide there. The mission of Southeast Way Park is threefold. So as you can see, we focus on environmental education, as well as habitat preservation, and then outdoor recreation. Next slide, please. So as I mentioned in the beginning, the park staff out there include the awesome park manager, Chris Martini. He's been with the Parks Department now for about 25 years. And Miranda Sears is our assistant manager, and she's been with the department about 18 years now. And then Caitlin Stahl is our naturalist on site, and she's been with the department for about 4 years. So they are a small but very mighty team out there, and their work is impeccable. Next. The park amenities include about 2.5 miles of paved trails, 1.5 miles of forest trails. They have 2 playgrounds on site, 6 picnic shelters, 3 picnic sites, a very well-used sledding hill, open play space, and then they do have a comfort station out there. The natural areas will include 80 acres of forest. They do have an ecology pond, wetland, and multiple prairies, as well as Buck Creek. And then some of the wildlife that you might see out there if you visit, they have barred owls, some woodpeckers and raccoons, monarch butterflies, box turtles, banded water snakes, bullfrogs, and so much more. Park stewardship includes garlic mustard pools, controlled burns, which I had the pleasure of seeing in action one day, tree plantings, scout projects, and then working with Amy Anderson to do some corporate days of service. Maple syrup season is amazing. If you haven't been out there, you need to go. It runs January, February, and sort of mid-March. I want to say, yeah, they maybe tapped about 70 trees out there. They do some educational tours with different school groups and scout groups. And of course the public, and then 20 gallons of syrup is what is the outcome that they get out there. Educational programming, they are swamped in educational programming, so they do some school field trips. Perry Township, Franklin, and Warren Township are their primary users, but they do get a lot of homeschool groups out there that take field trips, as well as do Boys and Girl Scout programs so they can get their badges. And then when they have different programs, they talk about habitats and bird watching, insects, pond life, trees, and then, of course, making maple syrup. Environmental adventure days are very popular out there. They do a couple in the spring, and then they have some coming up this fall. They mostly focus on elementary school students, and again, it's kind of a station sort of setup. They work with between 10 and 15 presenters, and they focus on, again, things like pond studies and raptors, mammals. They do play a lot of nature games, and then they focus on some tree planting. And they do see about 300 students, maybe even more, right now. Summer camp is what they are doing right now this week. I was just out there this morning, and so they're focusing on their 10 to 12-year-old group this week, and they're doing survival camp. So if you're familiar with Survivor, the TV show, that is what those kids are out there doing today, and they had a blast. But it's an 8-week program. They focus on pretty much ages 4 all the way up to 15 with different camps each week. And then typically those kids get to hike and do some pond dips, cookouts, which are very exciting, nature games, and then with the older kids, they do some night hikes. Bug Fest is coming back this year, so shout out to Bug Fest. It is an environmental education special event. It's always the last Sunday in August. They do see well over 2,000 people. And again, they have sort of a station sort of set up so people get to go around. I think the one thing that I will never do is the cricket spitting contest. But if you like that, then I encourage you to take a gander out there at Southeast Way for Bug Fest. Fall hay rides, we're hoping to bring those back this year. Obviously, people get to get outdoors, enjoy some beautiful fall weather. September, October, November, they focus on those on the weekends. And then the package deal is that it comes with a shelter, and then the team sets up a fire, and then they get to take their hayride and enjoy some time outdoors. We do have 6 picnic shelters on site, as well as 3 picnic sites. Those are rented frequently, like every single day, I feel like. But people come out, they do birthday parties and family reunions, of course, picnics for companies and different churches, and just they get out there and enjoy themselves. The activity center is well used. It is where we house our staff. So they're in there, but not as often as they need to be sometimes, but they're always outside. But that's where our summer camps and our programs, that's where they get started, and then they'll venture out into the park. The activity center is available for rent in the winter months, and it holds about 65 people. They have a small kitchenette and then a large fireplace. So it's a cozy little site for something in the winter. Winter fun, of course, we have a huge sledding hill out there. People love to go hiking, and then, of course, there's wildlife viewing in the winter, so it's lots and lots of cold fun. And then, of course, Southeast Way is a place where we connect people and nature. So with all of that said, I'll turn it over to Jeremy if you guys don't have any questions.
Sure. Really, never? Like you're never going to do the cricket spitting?
Oh, no, Phyllis. I won't be doing that cricket spitting. It's not a thing for me.
So you don't have any more of the cross-country meets out there anymore?
I don't know if they have meets, but I just saw they were out there today. So I know they practice and they run through there. I'm not 100% sure about the meets, but they're definitely still on site and taking advantage of the park.
Again, I want to reiterate and commend Chris and Miranda and Caitlin on their tremendous effort at the park. They really put in a lot of time and do some really great work. Chris always has a ton of energy, and he puts that into his work.
I don't have your presentation.
Okay, that's fine. I'll just talk about what we do. We've been around since 2001. I joined we were the advisory council. The park we have recently incorporated as the Friends of Southeast Way Park and been approved for 501c3 status. And this has been a big push for us as the Friends group, is to emulate a lot of the other Friends groups in the Indy Park system. And we need help with that, and that's kind of what we're working on, is trying to learn and grow. How to grow membership is a big one. There's a lot of development out around Southeast Way Park, and we're see it as an opportunity to bring more people into the park and into our friends group and build the park better. Grow membership. I believe there's a meeting on Thursday that we'll try to attend a networking meeting with other friends group to try to learn more and become better as a friends group. Fundraising is a big one. Right now we do several small things, concessions at Bug Fest. We take some small donations, but we'd like to set up a better system for donations, how to get the word out about our friends group. We have started a Facebook page for the friends group, and I believe that's helped, but how to better get our, our name out into the community. Also learn who to contact, when to contact them. Those are resources we don't have. Many of our board or friends group members don't actually live in Marion County since it's right on the border. Excuse me. So we may not always know the best people to contact. And just how to better operate. You know, other friends groups know what works, what doesn't, they've tried things before, and that's knowledge that we need and would like to get more information on. Currently, we do a lot of smaller projects, providing paint, providing supplies for summer camps, that kind of thing. We'd like to start taking on some bigger projects if we can. We're currently looking into some playground repair. There's some minor things, issues with some things breaking, nothing major. But that has seemed to be more expensive than we thought. It was a little bit of a shock to us. So that's a project we're really working hard to get, prioritizing what things need done, and trying to get a grant for that as well. We're working on all those things to make those improvements. The two playgrounds are a big draw for the park. A lot of people there, a lot of time. So,
are you coordinating with Don's team on that?
I believe Chris has maybe reached out. We have been in contact with the Indy Parks. Yeah. There's some, and like I said, some bigger items that we'd like to tackle, but we need to get better organized and better fundraising efforts in place before we can tackle those. But our mission is to support the park and the park's mission and Chris and his team, and we're trying to learn better ways to do that. I appreciate y'all having us out.
Well, thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Could I offer this a thought?
Sure.
I've been around so long, so I'll just offer this. Southeast Way was geared to be like Eagle Creek. It was a gated park. It had a gatehouse, and it had gate attendants. And it was to collect revenue like Eagle Creek in order to expand that park and to add on to that nature center. And it also was to provide security because it's out on the far, far out southeast corner of the county, and it's way out of the way. And, you know, and changing thoughts, changing administration, you know, it never happened. So it just became a drop-in park, you know, and it was never designed to be a drop-in park. It was designed to be a fee park that you pay a fee to get into because it was so far located like Eagle Creek. You know, Art Scrum built that park, and the concept was that, you know, it had a gatehouse, and Don, you may have been around when we took all that stuff down, but it was a gated park, and it had gated mission. And so, you know, when you talk about, because that nature center still needs to be expanded, it's very too small for what it does. It's not ADA accessible, the office upstairs and people are downstairs. One thought would be, you know, and to have that conversation again, you know, with the advisory council, you know, that, you know, if you want to generate revenue, you know, to do the things that you want to do, maybe the thought is to go back to that concept, you know, and think about, you know, should this be a gated park, you know, and should it be what it was originally to be? Because all through the conversations, even in my low tenure, no one ever talk about expanding that nature center, expanding the master plan, making it what it should really be. And it always just stayed right there, you know, and so that's one thought, you know, you may want to have with the director about, you know, how do we generate the revenue we need to do the things you're talking about. And so, of course, that's going to take a lot of political ambition because people now are going to say, I don't want to pay $1 to come in the park, you know, because they've been coming in free, you know, for so long. But Don, you may have been around when that was a gated park.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was a gated park, and it was designed to generate money to do all of the things, build the nature center and all the amenities. And so I don't know whether that's a resource development conversation or what have you, but I just want to throw that out there because the money you need to do what you need to be done is going to take hundreds of thousands of dollars. And if you don't have a strategy on how to generate that, you know, it's just going to drip along. And so maybe a conversation with the Friends group to talk about, because you need money out there to do what needs to be done. That old restroom system out there needs to be outdated. I mean, it needs money. And you know, I just throw that out there, what the original vision was for Southeast Way. You know, that was Southeast Way, Northeast Way, Eagle Creek. They were all corner parks, and to generate income to take care of themselves.
Good. That's definitely information I did not know. So it's good to have that.
Yeah, all the four corners: Northwest Way, Eagle Creek, Southeast Way, and Northwest Way. Okay. All four corners of the park were to be self-sustaining, revenue generating. Okay. And Eagle Creek is the only one that's really is generating the revenue. Maybe you can borrow some money from Eagle Creek. You know, they
have a nice friends group out there.
They loaded. They got their 50th year anniversary. They loaded over there. I borrow some money from Eagle Creek. So yeah.
Get with Charlie.
Will do.
Well, thank you everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So our next month's board meeting is scheduled for July 19th, 2022, 4 p.m. I believe we are here again at Riverside Clubhouse.
Love it.
Is that? We are here again at Riverside Clubhouse.
Yes.
That's what the presentation said.
And with that, I will attend a motion to adjourn.
So move.
Second.
We are adjourned. Thank you all.
You.